So personal branding, or for that matter, any branding, like I have worked a lot around employer branding, right? So I've thought about any employer's brand a lot. What is a brand? A brand is nothing but a perception, associations that you build. So for example, if we are talking about personal brand, when I meet people, when they see me online, wherever they interact with me, um, what do I leave them with? What is the impression of me on them? Right? So I think Oprah Winfrey explained it in a line saying, your personal brand is what people are talking about you when you're not in the room. Right? Um, so it's that. And because it's very natural. So even if you don't strategize one, even if you don't plan one, even if you don't craft one, you still have a brand. You're carrying it. Even if you're not visible, you're not doing much around it, you don't have any strategies, you're not controlling it, you still have it, right? So if everyone's carrying their personality or persona or their brand, whatever you call it, it's better to, in fact, if it's anyway going to be there, better to control it, manage it, maybe strategize it to enhance what you're doing, your career, your learnings, your life. Use it to your advantage, right? If it's anyway there, let's use it to our advantage. This is what we're going to learn in this session. We can move on. Yeah, so this slide I wanted to keep for a little interaction. And it's not just going to be this time that I want us interacting. I don't want to just keep talking. I want you all to, and we're talking about letting our personalities out, right? So very important on this call to have a little chat. Now, I can see some names, okay? And I know like a lot of people will volunteer and speak. So let's talk about a public figure or your favorite influencer or celebrity that you admire and tell me why. Anybody can volunteer. If you guys don't, I'll pick your names and I'll have a chat with you.
Hi, Minisha.
Hi, Asif.
How are you doing? How's everything on your end?
Very good. It's raining here. It's all good. I'm very happy.
Great.
Yeah, please.
So I believe personally, I've been following Gary Vaynerchuk. I'm sure you've heard of him, right?
Of
so
course,
I've been following Gary for like, over 5 to 6 years now. I think more than that. And the kind of hold that he has over his personality and his perception of things, like, how he deals. Just a second, I'll move out of this room. There's a lot of noise this side.
No problem. Gary Vaynerchuk, great example, OG of personal branding.
Yes, totally. And I feel he's somebody I look up to, and I've learned a lot through his videos. The kind of ideology that he has, that you do not charge anything for inspiration. So that's how you build. You give. You give a value. You add some value for your personality, and for the experience that you have had so far. And if that adds value to somebody's life, I think that itself becomes a brand for you, right? Like that works positively for you.
So you like what he advises, right? So you like his
definitely.
mind.
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Let's get more names. Thank you, Asif, for starting this. Sure. Anybody else? Anybody? Rahul is there. Rakesh, Prateek. Any of you guys?
So Minisha, on the chat, Prateek says Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
There's chat. Okay, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, Steve Harvey, and just write some whys. And why may try to write, if you can, articulate a personality trait. For example, trustworthy लगता है, कुछ why लिख दो. Supriti and Prateek, write your whys. MS Dhoni. Rahul, write the why of MS Dhoni for his realistic approach. Nice. Honest. Swami Vivekanand ji, very nice. Why do you like, what inspires you about Swami Vivekanand ji? Just write one word if possible.
He's a motivator for the role model. And he said that woke up in the morning, do a determination, goal oriented. In the
Yeah,
student path, he has given more guidance. Don't listen to anyone. Go with your career, whatever you are doing. Until the
nice, very nice.
destination reach, don't stop.
Because he borrowed money and created wealth. अच्छा, प्रतीक ने क्या लिखा था? प्रतीक ने राकेश झुंझुनवाला
Rakesh
created
Junjunwala.
wealth for himself. Nice. So I have a few examples that I can build upon and talk about why we are discussing. There are more. Don't worry, I'll keep reading for his work on the environment. Some are inspirational for the work they do, right? Some we like the manners of. You know, MS Dhoni, Rahul Dravid. People appreciate them for they coming out as trustworthy, honest. A.R. Rahman, right? And then there are some people who uh, done so much, right? They've contributed in larger than life ways. Swami Vivekanandji, Amitabh Bachchan, and so many other examples, right? So a few aspects of them shine, which speaks about them more than their work at times, right? Who they are as people is what we ultimately connect with. Somebody connected with Gary, somebody else connected with a Swami Vivekanand, and somebody else connected with Rakesh Jhunjhunwala. A reflection of who we are, we connect with that person. This is very important for understanding that, you know, there are so many public figures, so many of them within the same profession, but having their different personalities make them gain another level of trust or credibility or sharpness of mind in whatever, you know, they are projecting their employer brand and employer brand bol rahi hu, personal brand, or you know, it's how they are. Mostly they seem real, they seem connectable. Gary Vaynerchuk talks to the device from here, right? He comes across as he's talking to you. So very smart guy in how he you know, controls the content. Cristiano Ronaldo, believing in himself, being disciplined, working towards. See, all of you are mentioning personal traits of people that you like. So you really like people because they seem human and you connect with the human in them. That's what we're going to be building on from here on. Thank you everyone for the participation. Keep that coming, by the way. I know where to look at the chat now. You have questions, you have thoughts, keep them putting in the chat. Personal brand, what does it even mean, right? While I have covered this a bit, let's be here for now, Himadri.
Yep.
Personal brand, although a word बहुत ही ऐसे मुश्किल है, but because this is personal brand, no, this is nothing but your persona, your personality. I think I've covered it a bit. You make associations, and that can be physical when you meet somebody. You know, that can be, and let's load some points. I think there are good examples of what all you can think from. हमें लगता है पर्सनल ब्रांड ना सोशल पे है, क्योंकि ये वर्ड काफी लोग जब सोशल इन्फ्लुएंसर बने ऑन द साइड ऑफ देयर वर्क, दिस वर्ड स्टार्टेड sprouting very often then, right? But personal brand is everything. It's you carrying it anywhere you're going, be it your social footprints or be it you being you know, in a sales meeting with your client, through your latest LinkedIn or Twitter post, your conversation at lunch with a colleague, networking at a work event. ये सब हमारे साथ काफी often होता है, right? And everything else, it is with you. You're carrying it everywhere. A shop you're going to buy something, what kind of person you are. So isse na, I wanted to highlight how important it is to be consistent. You can't be one person on social and the other when you meet people. You can't meet one client in a very good way because they're friends with you, and the other client in a very strange manner. So some important points to note is that it has to be consistent. And you know, sales career mein, it's so important. Like I told you, sales a life skill, personal brand life skill. Personal brand sometimes na comes from very, it has deeper roots. You need to understand yourself, and we'll go into that as well. I mean, not very deeply, but you need to understand what your voice is, how do you want to come across, if it's on social media per se, or in sales meeting. But I felt, when my starting 2 months of sales career, what I could get a sense of is that when I meet people, they generally like me. They like talking to me. They would reply uh, to me, my messages, to emails. You see that happening. When you connect with somebody, like when you make a connection, it's a friendship. It's something beyond transactional. Pitch bol diya, mill liye. If a customer has to buy a product, and if it is a product that is hampering their current process or current work, they will find out and they'll buy it. Then why are we there, right? Then why are salespeople there? They're not there to tell the features of the product or do what a package can also do or an online site can also do. We are there to promise some experience, some connect, some service to the customer, which comes हमसे सिर्फ human part ही expected है. So can we build on that? So at the heart of sales is nothing but your personality, and whoever controls it best definitely has a very exponential edge on the craft of sales. So let's move on and let's understand this. Why bother about it? Why do we do it? Right? It's an introduction like no other. So imagine you're doing your sales job. You have a pitch, you know what you're selling, you have through and through knowledge of what you're doing at your day-to-day work. On the side, you share your opinions online on social media. Whenever you meet a client, you share something personal about yourself, build a connection there. You're doing some amplification of your personality outside of your job, right? So if I have to later, so for example, I'm hiring right now for my team in CoinDCX. And there is a resume, of course, that's crafted by the person. That's what they want me to know. I definitely do. Everyone is online searching you, right? Everyone knows there are some profiles that are public. Even if they are private, there's some things that you anyways get to see. So I check people's Twitter, LinkedIn, whoever I'm interviewing, to know a little something about the person in them, because it's very important to work with the right people, right? You don't want to end up with even if the skills are, and you would have heard it, a lot of managers, a lot of people saying, even if the skills match, if the culture don't match, if the people doesn't align with if the people don't align with the other people they're going to be working with, it's not going to work. So if I see about maybe if I'm hiring a salesperson, if I look at their LinkedIn profile and they've shared an article on LinkedIn on how to do negotiations right? That person has shared her own understanding of doing the right negotiations the right way through an article. She's put in that effort and she's put it there. I mean, I'm like, this is the person I want to hire. इसको तो इतना आता है कि इसने लिख दिया and इसने publish कर दिया. Or if I see and I genuinely, that side is also, when you're on social, you're thinking about something related to work. So it also is an introduction like no other. If you gradually build your brand, it always stays there. And I often tell people, whoever, like friends, right? We were best influenced by friends. हमारे parents, हमारे mentors, teachers कभी हमें नहीं easily influence कर पाए जितना friends करते हैं, right? So we were having a chat and I was like, present is the best time to be alive. 90s में 80s में jobs आए, सब कुछ आए, but only a few could make it big. In this day and age of technology, the amount of power, the kind of democratization we have now, it's like a gold mine is out there. You have a free tool to dig. Now just go and dig. I mean, make use of that democratization the internet has given us. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो आज. आपका मन चाहे आप मूवी बना सकते हो, आप अपना कोई भी क्राफ्ट साइड पे या मेन लोग, people are going in full-time careers that are gifted by the internet. So there's so much that you can do, even if on the side of the job you do little bit. It's like आप काफी कुछ करते हो अपने दिन में जो noteworthy है. अगर आप उसका 5% भी रोज सोशल पे डाल दो, उसको किसी भी तरह एम्पलीफाई कर दो, मे बी put in a little more effort, show your face, have that brand recall, do contribute something that other people within the job template is not doing, has exponential sort of benefits of it that you will reap for yourself. So there's a gold mine out there right now. You have a free tool and you just have to go and dig and use it to your advantage. It's the best time. आप कुछ भी कर सकते हो. आपको लिखना अच्छा लगता है, आप लिख सकते हो. आपको maybe there are different ways of communicating. You have to find how do you want to do it. So let's move on. Let's see what other points are. A strong personal brand promises that you comes across being at the top of the game. Aapka skill strong hai. If you're a salesperson, you have contributed, liked, shared, kuch bhi, right? Any content that comes from you on social or when I meet you or on your resume, any touch point, right? We just understood personal brand is touch points, associations that we build or not build. वो बनी रहे. So if I look at you, your profile, you come across as definitely as your domain, you're an expert. वो clarity तभी आ जाती है. आपको कोई test देने की भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ी. Third point, you're easily trusted, right? You will, the guy who like Gary, Asif will trust and buy from Gary. Gary उसको इतना पसंद है ना? Somebody definitely will trust and be good friends with MS Dhoni if they happen to. कोई two doubts नहीं है उसमें. You like somebody's persona, you trust them. So it's simple that you're easily trusted and your product automatically becomes credible. Yaar, wo na, that's the inline. I mean, if you have made that connection, if you have done it right with the human side in you, you're trusted. उसके बाद यार आप पे ट्रस्ट है ना, आपसे ले रहे हैं प्रोडक्ट, वो क्रेडिबल हो जाएगा. It works. It doesn't have to be like a very, very shitty product, but it works very well this way. So yes, this is a very good point. Self-discovery and constant improvement. अब इसको ऐसे देखते हैं कि I am putting in a lot of effort on the side, trying to build my brand. I'm trying to express my opinion, get a little more human out of me outside of my work. जैसे an example would be, I recently tried to for the first time create content for my own company CoinDCX. तो हमारा एक इंस्टा पेज है, उस पे we do like, because the industry, I don't know if many of you know, CoinDCX is a crypto exchange platform. The whole industry is pretty new. अब नई industry है, people are also to be made aware of what we are doing. तो हम content बनाते हैं where we shoot and we put it out. I tried a little bit of that. First time ever, right? Part of my, I thought I am investing in my own personal brand. I learned something new, how to put the camera right, lighting देखना है, ये देखना है, बोलना है, camera को देख के ऐसे बोलना है, just you're talking to people. It was difficult, but I got a little better once I do it. तो अगर आप कुछ भी कर रहे हो ना, like you're putting 1% of your effort, you're learning 50x more or whatever, and when it goes out, then to it's way more exponential. So doing this, understanding yourself, because right, again, life skill hai, it'll always reap benefits. Be it sales career, sales में तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा होता है, any other career also. So it definitely leads to self discovery and constant improvement. Next point, you stand out among the crowd and grab the best opportunities. बहुत easy हो जाता है. Like हम because हमें पता क्या लगता है कि सब लोग तो सोशल पे हैं, सब लोग भी कंटेंट डाल रहे हैं, अब कितना कंटेंट डाल सकते हैं. आर्ट ये है कि अभी भी ना, most people are consumers of content, only a few still are creators of it. So we feel like because we are consuming too much content, feel like यार सब कुछ है यहाँ पे, पर उससे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? It's still early in the game and you don't have to portray to be a Gary. You have to be your own Asif, right? There will be, tell us what Asif thinks, what Asif is interested in, what he sort of feels about a certain post or an article or something, right? And everybody is different ना, सब अलग है, तो सबका opinion का space है, and definitely a lot less people are doing it, by the way. So if you do it right, you stand out. Recruiters ho, clients ho, by the way, every sales meeting I have been to, हमेशा आता था LinkedIn पे, this person who I'm meeting is checked my profile. So it's not just hiring people. Whoever is meeting you, whoever is going to be associating themselves with you, are looking at your social score, are looking at who you are. They want to be sure who they are meeting. And you know, in my role, early days IIM Jobs, early days bhi nahi, काफी time tak IIM Jobs, I was on the field, I was meeting clients. Right, and I used to, for the kind of product I was dealing with, I used to meet CXOs, I used to meet very sort of top management people, and they wanted to be sure ki, you know, who's this girl coming to talk to me. Fair enough. So I used to think, yaar, ye article अच्छा होता, ये आ जाता ऊपर, you know, that time I used to think कि मेरा LinkedIn is, इन्होंने देखा, they've engaged with my profile, now I could have added some value. So let's do that, right? Last point is self-confident. आप काफी, जब आप, when you cross that, this is true for anything new that you engage with. जैसे ही आप अपने comfort zone से बाहर आओगे, you'll come out more confident. Even if you don't do it right, तभी भी आपको confidence आ जाएगा in failing. वो तो best ही है. Like that's the best way to learn. So these are some of the things I feel have extreme value. And this is what a strong personal brand definitely promises. अब वो किस लेवल पे है, उस लेवल के आपको बेनिफिट्स रीप करोगे आप. If it's very strong, if looking at you're also on Twitter visible, you're also on LinkedIn visible, when I meet you, it's a great opportunity. I feel like I've learned something new. So a strong employer, a strong personal brand does all of this and more. We can move to the next slide. See, while it says how to do it right, these are what I have personally experienced has worked for me and people I've seen around me. So these are based on my personal experiences. And iska na koi list nahi hai. This is an endless topic. How to do it right. Mein kafi, you know, we can break each point down into something else. But I have mentioned few, thinking of how to sort of start with it. You know, if we are just liking something or just viewing it. I was at one point in time, I was too young when you know, Facebook was very popular back in those days, right? मैं like भी नहीं करती थी. I used to not even engage with things. So these are some of the things that has worked for me. So that's what I've a disclaimer. That's what I've put here. My experiences, how to do it right. So while you have to be super authentic about your brand, एक मेजर आइडिया होना चाहिए आपको अपने सोशल पे अपना पर्सोना बनाना क्या है. एक ब्रॉड, लाइक एक क्लियर ब्रॉड आइडिया. और ये जैसे ही मैंने ये लिखा था ना पॉइंट, आई वाज थिंकिंग ये मुश्किल है, हाउ डू आई डू इट. सो मैंने प्रो टिप फिर नेक्स्ट लिखी, समटाइम्स वी ना नो व्हाट वी डोंट वांट टू कम अक्रॉस एज. फॉर एग्जांपल, I don't want to come across as I'm not sure how to put it right, but I don't want to make a brand of educating people how to do their finances right. मुझे ऐसा brand नहीं बनाना. मेको, like, so for example, how I think about it is I will share things that I'm really interested in. At the same time, a lot of people are showing a lot of their life out there on social media. Never say never, but that's not the plan for me for now. Like, I want to share my interest, I want to comment, and I want to create some content that's related to my work, but I'm probably not what I don't want to do with my brand is put my personal life out. That's something that I have clear idea about. So have that clear idea कि आप ये brand बना क्यों रहे हो. Maybe आप इसलिए बना रहे हो कि आपको अपने sales career में you want to come across as an expert in the field that you are in. This is a great way. अगर आपका ये career है, personal brand अगर उससे aligned है, it will help you exponentially within what you're doing. So this is what I meant about this. Keep it real. in person and online, right? जैसे जो हमने वो points पढ़े थे कि personal brand is on every touch point. So I call it, and this I think Gary Vaynerchuk video का ही word है, bullshit radar on internet is very high. People know when you're faking it. People know when you don't, like you're my colleague. मैं आपसे रोज मिलती हूँ, आप कुछ अलग ही persona social है, you know, so you have to be consistent, but at the same be very real. Don't, like, while we get influence, हम सभी हो रहे हैं because social media पे influencing game is very strong, but still be attached to your core. Don't mimic somebody else who you definitely like. Best content ना आपसे ही आएगा, like who you are. उसमें sometimes we feel ना हम इतने exciting, like हमारे इतने अच्छे thoughts नहीं है, maybe like हो नहीं सकते, या maybe it's not good enough, यार ये सही करता है, इसी को start there, that's fine. But at the end, it's the best way to create your personal brand is only when you're able to put out the authentic you out. So keeping it real is very, very super important, I think. तो ये मैं बहुत लोगों को बोलती हूँ, let the human in you shine at whatever you do. So basically क्या होता है ना, like सेल्स में भी, बहुत सारे जॉब में भी ना टेम्पलेट होता है, ये करो, we've seen this works really, will work tremendously for you as well. अब उसमें मजा तब आता है, और आप लोगों का काम is so human, like every client that you're meeting, you can't be maybe in the beginning you have to learn a pitch and say that only, but धीरे धीरे आप उसको improvise करने लगते हो, right? So this is very important when you're pitching to your client. Make a connection over and above, you know, it's way more important than saying the exact word that was in your pitch. Way more important to make that connection, to let that person know who a little bit of you are and know who that person is. Like, for example, you know, sometimes casual conversations happen कि, you know, I came from there, थोड़ा traffic मिला, ये था, वो था. Any new information that's not just your template pitch or what you're doing, or mail भेजा, reply किया, transaction everywhere through the job. The moment there is a break there with some human icebreakers, it's amazing. It just goes to another level, is what I personally feel and I felt has worked in my favor. Making connections, making relations. So this is what I wanted to highlight. Shine at whatever you do. Start with, so this is a very, very important point of how to do it right. अभी भी हम किसी लेवल पे तो एंगेज कर रहे होंगे सोशल मीडिया पे. दिस इज अ लिटिल मोर स्पेसिफिक टू सोशल मीडिया or social or your online footprint. Start with small. So if you're not even engaging, basically liking the post of things that you are interested in, or people that you are following, or articles or a news that you feel strongly about, but इसके आगे जाना है आपको. If you're aiming to create a personal brand that can add to your advantage of making your career better or your life better, you have to keep pushing your boundaries. थोड़े छोटे से start करो, but if you are a complete consumer of content, get into that engagement seat. If your engagement is basically liking, sharing, commenting, etc., right? If you are doing that on a regular basis, think of how you can contribute to creating some content yourself. Think of how can you maybe write a small article. और ये सबका यूनिक हो सकता है. I'm not saying everyone needs to know how to write the best status or how to write the best posts. Find your voice. कुछ भी हो सकता है. You can draw. You can you know, curate a few books and talk about that. You can curate some content from the internet and talk. You just have to find the right way to now small level content creation, which is your own, which also will lead to a lot of sort of introspection. What do I want to say? What do I feel strongly about? While a lot of people might be far from it right now, but is session ka na, like, main objective, even if any of you think differently about how to engage with your social profiles from today, even if you think a little differently about it, to use it to your advantage, I'd be more than happy if I can make that happen. Keep at it, be consistent is very important, right? So while we don't have a lot of time with our jobs, right? मैं सबसे ज़्यादा इस पे complain करती थी क्या time नहीं है, side पे भी there's so much, but because I know the importance of doing this is way more than everything else. I mean, if you have the strongest of brand, आपको आधी चीजों की you'll be at the cream of best opportunities जो हमने पीछे देखे points. So I make sure that I do interact, have some post 2-3 every week. वो कोई भी number हो सकता है to begin with, but आपको ये consistently करना है. There's no other way about it. क्योंकि brand बनना बहुत it's a long-term game. It's a game of time. It's a game of content, right? So that's why the previous point to this was start small and push your boundaries. The next is keep doing it regularly. अपना कोई cadence, frequency decide करो that works for you. But think about it consciously. You have to be conscious about it. Being authentic and being planned, right? So I think Steve Jobs के best of product launches, speeches were minutely crafted. So it is planned. हर चीज का ना like एक sales process ही है to do it right. So be consistent, be comfortable with what you're sharing, but do it often. Prioritize building. Acha, the last point is Madhuri, I think, is left. Prioritize building long-term. ये ना मुझे बहुत अच्छा point लगता है. When you prioritize building long-term connections over short-term gains. So sales में ना काफी बार क्या होता है? बहुत बार rejection, काफी बार क्या? Mostly rejection ही है, right? Sales में so many no's, few yeses, right? That's the game we're in. So हम तो comfortable हो ही जाते हैं. Every salesperson is very comfortable with rejections. But if you prioritize and everybody, each one of us hates when the client doesn't get back to us. उसने बोला था परसों बता देगा closure होगा या नहीं, proposal का बता दे. He's not come back. And we want that happening. So basically we want our clients to like us and buy our product, right? You have to change your thinking from start with liking them first, right? आपको वो that's the core of connection building, right? आपको सिर्फ demanding position पे नहीं होना. You also have to appreciate the other persona, the other person's personal brand. And when we prioritize building long-term connection, यार आज मना करे client ने कल किसी और कंपनी में जाएगा वापस आ जाएगा क्योंकि मेरा एक connect बैठ गया. That person trust me. Maybe it's not the right time, but the person trust me. पर कभी कभी क्या होता है ना, we take it too personally, we take it to the heart कि अब ये मेरे को नहीं करना, like मैं नहीं पढ़ रहा है. कभी कभी like we see so many follow-ups, client was saying very promising things, but last moment पे मना कर दिया and we take it to the heart. और पर्सनल ब्रांडिंग का तो गेम में ये बहुत इजी है टू गेट इमोशनली इन्वेस्टेड, बट दैट्स वेयर यू हैव टू बी स्मार्ट. बैलेंस इज द की वर्ड. यू हैव टू बी स्मार्ट अबाउट इट. यू हैव टू मेक द ह्यूमन इन यू शाइन इन एवरीथिंग, बट बिल्ड अ लॉन्ग टर्म कनेक्शन. आज नहीं तो कल सही. इट्स लाइक आपका कनेक्ट तो बिल्ड हो ही गया है. सो यू डोंट हैव टू प्रायोरिटाइज टुडेज क्लोजर. You have to prioritize building in connection. So that's what I wanted to highlight with this point. We can move on. Acha, there's some chat also. Wait. Selling is about personal touch. Yes, Kishan. This is the last slide. Isme so I want so ye na thoda like it's like you understood by now. Personal brand banana strategic bhi hai, टाइम कंज्यूमिंग भी है, एफर्ट भी लगता है, बट उसका फिर जितना एफर्ट है उसका एक्सपोनेंशियल रिटर्न है. सो आई वांटेड टू लीव यू विद समथिंग ना दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट टुडे विद. सो बिगिन हियर इज ऑल दोस पॉइंट्स दैट यू कैन स्टार्ट टुडे विद. इंट्रोड्यूस योर, हाँ ये मैंने बोल भी दिया है, बट यू हैव लॉन्ग टर्म क्लाइंट्स, राइट? आप उन लोग सो यू डू आई डोंट नो सबका अलग होता होगा, बट ईयर ऑन ईयर सेम क्लाइंट यू आर रिन्यूइंग. There's a huge time that you're spending. Colleagues are important, clients are important. Show your whenever, right? Strongly build that connection, show your human side. I think I spoke a lot about it, so I don't want to take a lot of time, but if you have more questions, we can speak about it more. This is literally the first step of making connection. अपना को human side बताओ, start उनसे पूछो कुछ, and at the right time. वो that I'm not going to कि 5 मिनट मीटिंग के लिए मिले हैं और पूरा टाइम आप पर्सनली बातें कर, वो नहीं कह रही मैं, but I'm saying there's a long time, like build that connection, know the person behind that corporate designation, let your person come out and let make them connect eventually. उसी उससे अच्छा गेम चेंजर नहीं है कोई. Next point, please. Revisit your old social. Please do that. मेरे भी कुछ करने बाकी हैं, outdated versions. बचपन से हमने अपनी प्रोफाइल बनाई हुई है, तब स्कूल में कुछ और फन होता था. आज of course there's more maturity, we've changed as people. थोड़ा सा edit it, थोड़ा सा revisit all your social profiles today. ये सब आज करेंगे please, or at least plan बनाएंगे कब करना है. If there is a lot of social history that you want to update, depending on that. But revisit your social profile. Please update the outdated version that's not applicable to you anymore. Craft है, मतलब आपको जो आप you're selling yourself online, in person, everywhere also, right? So just like your resume, take control of that. आपको क्या दिखाना है, कैसे अच्छे से दिखाना है. इन सब लोगों के पर्सनल साइड्स के नेगेटिव एलिमेंट्स भी हैं, जिनके भी हमने नाम लिए, गैरी के, MS धोनी के, राकेश झुनझुनवाला के. हमें इतने नहीं दिखते. I mean, there's a reason why. So use that to your advantage and remove the outdated version that's not adding value to you. Third point, please. Use that bio very well. तो ना कुछ चीजें होती हैं, like your picture, जिसका भी एक point है, your bio, your basic, काफी लोगों का खाली होता है, काफी लोगों का कुछ होता है. But even if your profiles, a lot of your profiles like on Insta can be private, somewhere can be private, but if I happen to find you, there's some what do you call it, initial ice breaking through some of these information that I can understand. वो अच्छे से manage karo. So definitely use your bio well. Highlight the unique you in it. Time low. Take time to write one good bio that works in your favor. If by everything takes you back to how what persona at the end of it you want to end up with, उससे align आपको सब कुछ करना है. So DP, display picture, next point I think is that only. Madhuri, if you can. Next point, please. I think I just want to get the profile picture one. हाँ, online basics हैं. आपका bio selfie है तो एक अच्छा professional headshot लगाओ. Replace that selfie with a professional picture, definitely. थोड़ा like and this is brand recall. हम marketing में ना इसको थोड़ा ज़्यादा critically समझते हैं कि every time I see your face, I don't know if how many people have their picture in their signature on their personal Gmail or their Gmail. कभी-कभी तो company का लगाना पड़ता है, but wherever possible, leave those marks of people remembering you. जितनी बार मुझे आपका face exposure, आपका कुछ video, something that you say, I don't know, can we try sending a video of us talking to the client over an email about why they should buy the product? Can we do that? Can we build that extra layer of connection? So this is sticky. ये लोगों को याद रहता है कि यार मैं इस बंदी से मिली थी and it was great. She told me like these few things that stuck with me, and they remember faces. So make sure that you're doing it. Fourth point is engage with the right content right away. कुछ नहीं कर रहे, definitely like, share, comment करते रहो. वो ही आपके प्रोफाइल पे कलेक्ट होगा. People will at least know what kind of content you're liking, what kind of personality you are. And then definitely make yourself visible. आपको खुद को दिखाना है. अभी आज नहीं करना तो प्लान बनाना है उसका. 3-4 बार आपको engage करना ही है. Be it on social media. वैसे तो आप जो भी like like physical is very organic, right? आप networking events में बहुत इस चीज को plan करके कर सकते हो, but social is a big game. It's the gold mine I was talking about, right? तो you have to make yourself visible. आज content creator नहीं है, कभी बनना है in some way or form. I'm not saying सबको video बनाना है. If you like, that has its own merits, of course, but anyway we can define our voice and create that content. एक 6th point ये है कि most of us अभी क्या कर रहे हैं ना, हम अपने अपने sort of फन के लिए सोशल मीडिया को यूज कर रहे हैं. तो अभी हम इंस्टाग्राम पे है तो हम इंस्टाग्राम पे, रेडिट पे तो वहीं है, ट्विटर पे है तो वहां है. सो अंडरस्टैंड व्हेन यू आर प्लानिंग इट दिस वे. अब आपका टास्क ये है आज कि आपको अपने पर्सनल ब्रांड को यूज करना है टू इन्वेस्ट इन योर सेल्फ एंड इन योर करियर. सो नाउ सी, sales professional, lot of people are on LinkedIn, make a very strong personal brand on LinkedIn. Lot of people are on Twitter. The whole tech game is happening on Twitter. There is Discord, there's Telegram. है तो बहुत सारे, धीरे धीरे go there also. But the idea is to follow your community, beneficial community, clients हो गए, colleagues हो गए, future employers that you can work with, and be at the platforms that they are consuming the content. Right? And is there a 7th point? Don't even remember. I don't think there is. I wanted to add something, so I'll add it now. Now, इतने सारे platforms आप कैसे manage करोगे? एक छोटा टिप ये है कि एक sort of content, for example, अगर आपने कुछ like किया किसी नासा के काफी सारे pictures आ रहे हैं of the James Webb telescope, है ना? You liked it, you commented on it on Instagram, you can do the same on Twitter, you can do the same on LinkedIn. एक content को आप काफी सारे platforms पे लेके जा सकते हो. Later you create content, put it everywhere. Easy to manage different platforms in the same way. Every celebrity does that. Everybody who's conscious about building a personal brand, because they are earning from it, they are doing it. So this is a good strategy that's working even for people to earn from it. So why? So it will work for how we want to maintain it, definitely. Yes, questions please. I'm sure I am missing out on a lot of points. We can do this again if you want, but yeah, please, your questions will also make me cover what I've missed. People who usually chat, let's speak up. Let's push the boundary. How do you connect with HNIs who are not there on any social platform? See, social platform pe sab nahi hai. That's true. If you want to connect with them, you know their name, the company they work for, crack their email ID, drop in them a nice email. That can be done, I'm sure. Does that answer your question? Drop them an email, crack their email IDs, try a few combinations. If you have a proposal for them, drop them in a nice email, and if possible, make your record a small video of yourself and connect with them through that. So you can do that.
Hi Nimisha, Minisha.
Hi Kishan. No
How
problem.
are you? That's for a great
Good.
session, actually, from you.
Thank you for
Very
taking
good
out the time.
energy from the beginning from your side.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask a question. So basically, you said about the content creation or what the type of post you are putting on the LinkedIn. Like from the beginning, should we start from based on what post do we like, or type of post should we post on LinkedIn about the target audience we are targeting?
Find a
From that
balance.
should we start?
Yeah. Something that you definitely believe in. आप जो सबको पसंद आ रहा है, हम थोड़ा उससे अलग सोचते हैं, जरूरी नहीं है वो हमें डालने की जरूरत है. Find a balance. LinkedIn के लिए अप्रोप्रिएट है. एक और चीज, राइट? तो डेफिनेटली आप ये सोचो कि LinkedIn के लिए क्या अप्रोप्रिएट है, आप किससे रिलेट करते हो, उसके वेन का कुछ बेसिकली something that ticks both boxes. It should be, I see, the kind of person I am, I feel if I want to say this and I feel strongly about it, kari do wo, to that's fine. Sometimes it's also a discovery of what's working. At the end of the day, see, I am saying even if you don't craft a brand for yourself, your brand is always there. So the right answer is it should be relevant for whoever is going to be consuming that on LinkedIn, and also something that you truly feel it. So find a balance if possible. अगर आपको example बताओ तो मैं मुझसे पूछो तो नहीं, बट हाँ आपको समझ आ ही जाएगा कि ये मैं डालूं कैसे लिखूं. there's a अब सी इफ यू गो डीप इनटू इट, अभी ना हम 0 से 1 और 2 जा रहे हैं, बट ऑफ कोर्स देयर आर वेरी स्ट्रेटेजिक वेज आल्सो के जैसे ट्विटर पे कैरेक्टर लिमिट है, तो वहां पे थोड़ा थोड़ा क्विकली बात कहना इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लिंक्डइन पे ऐसा नहीं है. लिंक्डइन इज अ प्रॉपर सॉर्ट ऑफ heavy duty content consumption can happen. So accordingly, but definitely यार it should be true to you. आप उससे align होने चाहिए हो, सिर्फ people pleasing नहीं करनी, because that will somewhere you can't fake it for a long time, right? तो वो कहीं ना कहीं तो हो जाएगी.
स्टार्टिंग में मतलब या फिर stick to your own beliefs, मतलब कौन सा आप follow करना चाहते हो.
That's core.
The
Yeah.
things will fall apart in the places. Thank you.
Thank you, Kishan. How to reconnect professionally with people or seniors to whom you have not connected from long time, but now they are valuable for your business. How to reconnect. So you're saying, so Sandeep is saying that earlier they were connected with these seniors, now wo touch छूट गया है. Connected for a long time, but now they're valuable for your business. Connect again. I mean, just drop. जब भी आप कुछ भी ऐसा the person is very valuable to you, you feel मुझे इससे connect करना ही है, whatever you're writing उसको just craft it well. अगर बहुत ही time हो गया है, ये भी हो सकता है कि you parted ways not in the most amazing way, सब कुछ mendable है. You just have to take that plunge and go and write it nicely, connect in the nice manner. कोल्ड ईमेल्स भी इतने कोल्ड नहीं होते अगर आप उसको अच्छे से क्राफ्ट करो तो. इन मेल्स कर सकते हो. देयर आर मेनी वेज. आजकल तो लाइक यू कैन कनेक्ट विद हुएवर यू वांट, अनलेस द पर्सन का कोई कुछ है ही नहीं वो, तो फिर हाउ इज इट रेलेवेंट टू यू, राइट? बट इन मेल्स, क्राफ्ट नाइस इन मेल्स. कुछ पिछला बताओ कि लास्ट टाइम व्हेन वी मेट ये ऐसा था, that gives that quick connect to the person going to when they knew you previously. फिर वो हो जाता है ना, like we also used to say कि जब भी हम अपने स्कूल फ्रेंड से मिलते हैं तो स्कूल की ही बात से शुरू होता है. So write something, yeah, connect with them again and maybe talk from where you left. That could be a good icebreaker, comfortable space you both will be in. And to the chat, if you're not, okay, thank you. I think I answered your question. If you still have doubts, how to connect overseas opportunities connection. By opportunities, can you be more elaborate?
Hello.
Hi. Hi,
This is
Nagraja.
Nagraj. Yeah. This thing is that in LinkedIn there are more opportunities to relocate also. So in
Relocate.
respect to our job opportunities, how we can go through that? Those who are not in contact already.
So many ways, like similar ही ways है. अब हमारा ask है, we're not selling, we are asking for, like looking for a relocation to another job. How I got this job was I created a video resume and I emailed it to, मैंने वही करा था. मैंने लोगों के important लोगों की emails crack करके उनको email डाला था with my video resume, और मैंने अपने subject line में लिखा था Minisha Verma video resume. So a lot of people are not getting video resumes. अगर आपके लिए वो comfortable है आप वो करिए, but in any way connect. एक email तो डाल ही दो. Sorry, there's a lot of noise from your end, Nagraj. If you can mute while I speak. So I was saying that job opportunities अगर आपको LinkedIn पे for example देखिए, definitely apply. उसमें भी आपसे काफी सारे questions वो पूछेंगे. They'll ask for your resume. So definitely apply through the conventional way as well. If you're really interested in that job and you feel it's difficult to crack, do something different that will stand out. Maybe drop an email, maybe create a video resume. It really depends on how much you feel like you feel passionate about it. Solve something for them, है ना? मतलब if you think you can add value in a very specific way, nothing like it. So while I was applying for jobs, I was really aspiring for companies just में मेरा कोई experience भी नहीं है. I was very, so another thing apart from crypto and Web3 I was interested in was entertainment industry, right? Filmmaking is a big passion for me. Now I was trying to find a value. आपको पता होना चाहिए ना, आप क्या value add, कुछ तो होगा. Why if there's nothing, the end result would also not be in anybody's favor, right? If there is something specific that you can solve for them, वो बताओ. Modes वही हैं, email है, email है. कभी कभी job descriptions, when you're applying for a job, there is also a section where you can put in other things. तो वहाँ पे you can highlight. But वही है, I mean the job application way में आप काफी सारे applications के बीच में होंगे. You can do something different, highlight them, tag them in some post of yours, do something different that makes you highlight yourself in front of them. That would really, I think, work. How can we ask that prospect? Hanji.
Video
Yes,
recording
Nagaraj.
much will help us.
Step out for now.
Video recording?
Yeah, much will help us in getting the job.
हाँ यार,
Introduction.
video record. Yes, because आपने इतना effort डाला है कि आपने video sales में a big thing is how you talk, how you portray yourself, right? So video does all of that. Video इतना कुछ solve कर देती है. The moment आप कुछ भी आप कभी किसी से like you hear about something versus you see something, that's the whole difference. So I think my personal rate of reply to video resumes, and I was very selective in where I was sending them. So मैंने कुछ 10-12 employers को भेजा था अपना video resume. I got 9 replies. Some were sorry, it's not working, but reply आया. So the reply rate was extremely high. My experience, my personal experience, से मैं आपको बता सकती हूँ. Video resume का मेरा experience was amazing. Think about it. I hope I've answered your question, Nagraj. Okay. How can we ask our prospects for second meeting and add value more than we have already added in earlier meeting? Okay. So to every question, I'm like, ask for it. So एक बार, so basically, you know, when I'm a person who has to find time for you again, right? एक added ये आ जाता है कि अब क्या रह गया. So if you can tell them what's in it for them in meeting you again, that should work, right? उससे आपको भी कभी-कभी clarity आ जाएगी कि, you know, so whenever I used to fix sales meetings, I always used to say what's it going to be about, and I used to ask also at times, are you interested? Is it a good time for talking about employer branding? Is it, are you keen? So it should be mutual, yeah. You just not have to force a meeting. Just tell them why is it for and what value you can add. In any way, if you can mold your whatever content you write or however you're communicating, अगर आप उसमें 2 चीजें डाल सकते हो, what's in it for them and what value you can add. I think you should get that meeting if it is valuable for the client as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Minisha. One more question: how not to act desperate? Like many of the times, I feel personally that I'm being too desperate asking for meeting. So, how to not to do that?
So if you feel it, no, Pratik, right? If you feel it, then you might also be coming across that way. So मतलब हमें थोड़ा बहुत self awareness हो जाता है कि यार बहुत ही बारी हो गया है. But see, sales में एक ये तो है ही कि आपको follow up करते रहना है. कभी-कभी clients are also used to इतना आएगा तब मैं reply करूंगा. But see, I won't go what conventionally works. If you're feeling you're being too desperate, adding a bit more context. हर बार ये लिखना awaiting your reply. Tell them your side of story, right? Awaiting your reply. I know that I've been emailing you constantly over the last few weeks, but you know, we are meeting our deadlines, or like we are at the end of the quarter, at the end of the month. It will really help us. they know what you're doing, yeah. And if they see the human behind it, why are you doing so many follow-ups? Why is it important for you? And you're just asking for an update, right? So you can be polite about it, make them see your side of things, and I think that should help in not if you're reasonable, no, you're not as desperate. A desperation काफी misinformed भी हो सकता है. Every time I'm writing the update, looking for an update. सबको हमने एक ही लाइन लिख दी. तो मेरे को भी लगेगा रोज ये आ जाता है, looking नहीं कर रही मैं reply. But when I see why Pratik wants to talk, why Pratik wants a reply today itself, why is it important for me? Just drop something and then wait. Thoda patient, it's a balance game. Wahi hai. Like human connection banana is not easy. We learn it on the go, but try putting your reason out. Maybe that should help to begin with.
All right. And how long should a follow up? Like, if I'm calling a client and he's busy, all right. So how should I take follow ups on a regular basis? And even I don't want to sound desperate, because people usually put number on spam, and I don't want that to happen again and again. Mainly
Nice.
during.
I lost you. Sorry, Pratik, if you're saying something. I'm losing you.
I'm done. I just wanted to ask that
Okay.
how long a follow up should be there. Like, if I'm calling a client today, then after how many days or after how long I should connect to him again? If he says he's busy and whatever the.
So see, and I worked with a lot of salespeople very closely, followed up a lot also. So few things that I can tell from my experiences, if it's a new client, right? So the only information so you will have at that point in time, let me आज call किया, कल call करके देख लेता हूँ. थोड़ा समझो what works for the client. आपको ना in a long term relationship with your client, you will understand this person gets free at around 6 p.m. वो आपको समझ आने लगेगा. But जब तक आपको नहीं आ रहा, आपको वो समझना है. So if you don't have any information about the response or the cadence of, सबको ना एक पॉइंट के बाद पता होता है ये क्लाइंट रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं करेगा, ये क्लाइंट इतने ही बजे मीटिंग देगा, ये क्लाइंट इतने ही टाइम पे फोन उठाएगा. ये हो रहा है क्योंकि वी बिन इन कांस्टेंट टच विद द क्लाइंट. हम काफी टाइम तक उसके साथ कनेक्टेड रह चुके हैं. वो तब होता है. बट अगर शुरू में है तो आप अपने हिसाब से लाइक ट्राई कॉलिंग एवरी डे. वो आपको खुद बता देगी कि मेरे को इतना आप प्रतीक यू कैन कॉल मी एट दिस टाइम, क्योंकि दिस इज लाइक कॉन्वर्सेशन, राइट? अगर मुझे पता है कि जैसे हमें भी काफी बारी स्पैम कॉल्स भी आते हैं, सो आई टेल देम मैं वीकेंड्स पे फ्री होती हूँ, आप मुझे वीकेंड्स पे कॉल कर लेना एंड आई वुड टॉक टू यू. A lot of times talking to a person is not the problem. It's understanding. You'll also with time understand their space and their time, and when is it relevant for them to talk to you, when can they give you that time to talk to them. वो आपको with time भी पता लग जाएगा, आप पूछ भी सकते हो. That's another way. So you can actually ask your client, I want to follow up on this again, when can I do it, when can I check with you again. So a lot of times a good practice is to ask, can I call you tomorrow same time? Then you will have those clarities. It politely ask the question that solves your real problem, that is not just your insight but also will help the client, right? Usko bhi expectation hoga ki Pratik would be calling. Meko pata hota hai, like whenever I've told people to call me on the weekends, then I have told them to call them on the weekends. Now I can't say no. So if she's told you to call, it's okay to call tomorrow the same time, then she should be answering your call, and if not, she would be apologizing for it later, I'm guessing.
Hello, madam.
Yes.
Madam, this is Nagraj.
Yes.
How about going for the present in digital marketing courses? If you want to switch on the our present this one from field to field, because I'm into now print media, so I want to go for digital marketing. So can.
So Nagraj, research about it, enroll
No,
in a course.
I have gone through many courses, but
Okay.
I'm not finding right way which one want to do because there are costly also so many courses. So going online or going practical courses is much better because they
Okay.
say that online is good. Some say practical sessions are good.
I personally have not. So LinkedIn Learning is what I do a lot of my sort of personal course. Udemy is there, Coursera is there. काफी सारे basic courses भी होते हैं. कुछ चीजें आपको to begin with, to understand what type of jobs are out there in digital marketing. There's so much content even on YouTube free of cost. So you can understand what kind of. So you're saying you're in print media right now. You want to move
Yeah,
to digital
yeah,
media.
yeah,
So similar but very very different ball game altogether. Also,
yeah.
so just do, before enrolling and committing to a hefty course, like a heavy duty expensive course, do your due diligence on what kind of roles are there. तो आप YouTube पे देख सकते हो, जो company or aspiring, you can write the name of the company, you can write digital marketer or digital whatever. Maybe there might be some videos that would pop up, make you understand कि job requirement है क्या, JD पढ़ सकते हो क्या सीखना है उसके लिए. मे बी कॉपी राइटिंग सीखनी है,
Content,
सीखना है
SEO.
ना. तो छोटे तो डिजिटल मार्केटिंग कोर्स को लेकर कैन यू ब्रेक इट डाउन टू डिफरेंट कोर्सेज. एसईओ कहीं से आप कैन यू लर्न एसईओ, कैन यू लर्न
Mobile.
what else, right? Engagement rate क्या होता है, how do you work it, and then maybe also on the side look for some jobs that are not requiring a lot of crazy experience. थोड़े एंट्री लेवल जॉब्स देखो, बिकॉज ऑन द जॉब लर्निंग बहुत अच्छी होती है. थोड़ा सा ब्रश योर सेल्फ, ब्रश योर स्किल्स, एटलीस्ट नो कि रिक्वायरमेंट क्या है बेसिक लेवल पे, वो आपको जेडी से मिल जाएगा, यूट्यूब सर्चेस से मिल जाएगा. देन लुक फॉर एंट्री लेवल जॉब्स जिसमें इतना एक्सपीरियंस का रिक्वायरमेंट नहीं है. दे विल, दोज जॉब्स आर बेस्ट, especially when you're shifting your career na, sort of changing your role from something to something else. तो वहां पे जो 0 years of experience होते हैं, they make you learn a lot. So those jobs can also be fruitful.
One more question, Minisha.
Yes, Prateek.
Yeah. So personally, how do you pitch clients? Because you might be pitching about cryptocurrencies. I pitch pitch on stock market. So basically, I'm a wealth manager. So I just wanted to understand like how you guys pitch.
Yeah. Sorry to break it to you, Prateek. I don't do sales in CoinDCX. I manage their employer brand. So
Not like that, but just wanted an overview like how cryptocurrencies are pitched towards clients and what value addition cryptocurrency brings, and
you want to know about crypto. Okay.
I know about crypto, but I wanted to know about how can I add value speaking about crypto as well as stock market. That would add some value to the client, and also a knowledge sharing session might happen. I can at least speak to him about cryptos and stock market, like the difference between both of them, and how do yes, yeah, go ahead, please go ahead.
So crypto, just like stocks, right, is a different digital asset class now in at least our country. It's so how we have been, and we are pitching the industry to a lot of people. Not even we're not we're, of course there's a sales team. They pitch it to banks and they pitch it to projects who enroll their coins, their listings on our exchange platform. But having said that, it's a digital asset class, just like stocks, just like any other asset class that people can invest in. So usually our this thing is, we never say crypto only, we say balance your portfolio. Just like you understand your personal financing, investment में क्या चीजें सही हैं, diversification of portfolio, कुछ पैसा liquid रखो, कुछ पैसा fixed में रखो. And I am no expert, by the way, so it's just like not even coming from my expertise, but how we are approaching outside with crypto is, it's a different digital asset class, just like any other investment asset class, which you can put a little money because it's growing. It has and you have to be a believer of the community to do that. So for now, I would advise, if you want to really go into crypto, read about it. It is a session on its own if I have to break it to you, but I can share a few good articles that would really help you. So there are a 3-part article here on Medium that I can share on crypto with you, and you should definitely read about it.
Okay, so you are you are into more of a B2B kind of thing,
I
not
am
into B2.
I am in marketing. I am a marketer.
All
So I
all
don't
right, all
pitch
right.
to clients. I don't look at the business side of things. I look at core marketing and creating a strong brand for CoinDCX. Yeah.
Okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Jitendra.
Hello. Good afternoon, madam. I have 3 things to share with you.
Okay.
Number one, I want to express my thanks and gratitude because I was traveling and on the road, so I was not trying to unmute myself, not to disturb anybody. But number one thing is this: why I want to say thanks and my gratitude to you is this: I have gone through quite a number of different seminars or webinars or listen to speakers. I found your statement, your experiences, whatever you were sharing was really authentic. If we can apply these things are only things which can help us, not any such written content, written document. It's individuals' own understanding and individuals' own choice. And thirdly, how individual wants to represent that to the people. And that's, you have beautifully explained that. So thank you so much. It has definitely given me a lot of learning.
Thank you,
Secondly,
Jitendra.
you really talked about the presence of online. Yes, it has given me a sense of understanding that it is very, very important to be visible online. Even though I am kind of a content consumer by liking, most of the time liking, because my situations are a bit different. I know the value of being visible, but somehow because of XYZ, I am trying to go back for the time being, so that there are people on LinkedIn who will be noticing me, my own people, outside people, everybody. So what I want to project myself, somebody else may can also comment on that. So I just have to think how I can plan myself so that my object can be fulfilled. At the same time, they should not be hurt. And third, I have one request or query to you. My profile consists of fulfillment and sales. Fulfillment is a major part, sales is a minor part. Because again, I have worked in a company or industry where their products are into much more demand. You need not to sell them, it gets sold automatically. Major thing is to support with the customer with regard to the fulfillment. However, my wish is to move mainly into course sales, because I believe that there are huge learning and challenges in courses, and if you perform in the courses, your growth is also related to that. So in that sense, can you guide me things which I can apply where, because in my current resume, people will say, boss, it's okay that you have done the sales, however you have not done this kind of a sales. So we are looking for a candidate who has this kind of profile, this kind of a work experience. I am facing a challenge in that particular point. How to overcome that?
Okay. First of all, thank you, Jitendra, for such sweet words. Kudos to if you feel that this is the best way of learning from people. Kudos to Team Juno as well. To your query, and correct me if I've understood it right. You're saying there is a job that you want to apply to, but you lack certain skill, certain experience. It doesn't match with what their requirement is. So beforehand, and I would apply to also different jobs, and I would, every time if I feel that this is sort of a job that is way more important to me, ye mil jaye to sorted ho jayega. So what I do is I would tweak my resume accordingly. highlight the parts that you can that works for that employer when they look at your resume. Can you make that effort? If you can, it will really show. And JD is something that is already available to you beforehand. What can you match in the JD with your current experience? If you can match even one or two things, make them appear on the top, so that because the employer is hiring basis the job, and if your resume is very similar or is relevant, is looking relevant to the job, that is a quick hack, right? Now, not so such a quick hack is some skills mentioned in the JD, and if you really want to do that job, learn those skills if you lack those, right? It will help you eventually, nobody else. You don't have to impress the employer. You will be using those skills within that same job. So this is also something that you can do. Some things you would already have, you just need to highlight it to the employer. Other aspects of the JD, now experience level एक चीज होता है जिसमें हम क्या ही ज्यादा tweak कर सकें, but there as well, I feel if you strongly feel about taking a shot, so there's, I think, some stats also. A lot of times people apply to jobs even if their experience don't match. So if at the end of it all you can add some experience, you can add some value to that company, they would appreciate that with or without experience. Like in our space of Web3, experience इतना मैटर नहीं करता, आपको काम आना चाहिए. That's the core requirement. अगर आपको लगता है कि there is a huge mismatch, नहीं हो पाएगा, तो then set the right expectations within yourself. If you feel कि यार यहाँ पे एक experience की वजह से शायद नहीं होगा, still apply. Maybe write an email, write what values you can add in that, highlight it through some personal branding, maybe put a video or something. There are hundreds of ways that you can utilize smartly to stand out to that particular employer. अगर आप सिर्फ उसके जॉब के लिए इतनी चीजें करोगे, tweaking your resume, maybe dropping an email, if you feel कि यार only this experience, this thing is something that I want to prove, still I am relevant, they see that relevance, then definitely call you.
Thanks. Thank you. But sorry, I just want to continue with that. Yes, I have taken your point. However, like there are certain industry specific where I can understand that okay, their expectations are these things, which is very much required, and the position they are looking for. Because it also matters about the compensation I am looking for or the compensation that they are offering. But in particular, I have tried like applying for the corporate sales job for many verticals where the only sales skills are required. Product-based knowledge can be gained on the go, right? But that is also not clicking because they are thinking that I am from an engineering background and why I want to change this. Again, I have a different story why I want to change that. Maybe Himadri can later update it, but yes, I have already told this. But there is a reason why I have to change my industry. So like, if I want to focus on corporate sales, what are the things that I should apply? And then I can click that.
What are the things that you should apply, as in your resume, specifically somewhere in your skill enhancement?
Yes.
For corporate sales.
Corporate sales.
For corporate sales. So Alex, you're saying that they still feel. How do they feel it by looking at your resume?
See, my resume projects them that I have worked in an engineering company with an engineering product. And the corporate sales profile I'm applying for, they may have different products, but I can relate to that. I can execute those things and I can do the sales. That is what the belief I have, but they don't see that same belief and confidence in.
Okay, makes sense. So आप resume level पे and you can't of course fake the entire resume. आप अपना experience बताओगे उसमें, resume share करो. पर जैसे आप मुझे बता रहे हो, right? That Minisha, it is relevant. I still can like write that email to the person who you feel in that company could be having the kind of time to read that. For example, usually senior people, you can reach out to a HR, maybe senior HR also. It really depends on the company that you're trying to try to put this point out some way or the other. जैसे आप मुझे बोल रहे हो ना, it's still relevant. See, if they see value in it, like every employer is seeking for good talent. Agar aap, if you are able to, if you really believe in it, sometimes na there's a mismatch. Agar mismatch nahi hai और आपको लगता है कि ये तो मैं on the job भी सीख सकता हूँ, instead of saying कि ये मैं on the job सीख सकता हूँ, you need to tell them what can you today bring on the table with, maybe आप इसको ऐसे कर सकते हो, right? If I am not I bring this experience from a world outside, maybe the corporate world, that can be used this way. क्योंकि काफी बारी ना within the, we don't want to hire, like a good employer does not want to hire putting blinders on. कई दूसरे experience everywhere help. So can you create a package that makes them feel कि, because you coming from a different experience can be your strength in this role. So can you collate an email? Can you put that across some way? The thing that you feel is my weakness is actually my strength. If you actually feel it, that could be an approach I could think about. पर अगर एकदम ही आपको लग रहा है mismatch है, that's different. But आपको ऐसा नहीं लग रहा है, आपको लग रहा है you are still fit, you should be given a chance, and then tell them why. You have to sell yourself, keeping in mind what's in it for them and what is in it for them. Why should they spend time जब उनको इतने सारे ready candidates मिल रहे हैं जिनका पक्का पकाया corporate experience है, वो आप में क्यों time spend करें? अगर आप उनको एक wow moment देते हो कि आप मेरे को देखो instead of all of them, I'm just hypothetically saying things, right? Because I bring in that outside experience, that can be your strength. If you can do that, it might work in your favor. But I don't know the exact, nuances, but that's something that I can make you think in a direction if you've not.
No, thank you so much. I will definitely try to use these inputs, and probably this will help me. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Minisha,
Minisha, I
would you
have a
add
question
something
which I have actually written on the chat.
Yes. There is a group. Oh, so there are many people through this. Okay. Yes, I'm going to chat. Prateek has written, in personal branding, we tend to pretend to be someone we are not. So how can we stop that? How to be authentic and how not to attract negative publicity? Oh, negative publicity is a very good question. It's like आप कितना create कर रहे हो कि negative publicity हाँ वैसे आ सकता है, like it's online. But ये बहुत important है कि personal branding, how to not pretend. So this comes from within. Sometimes we are not okay accepting the person we are. कभी-कभी ये वहाँ से शुरू होता है, that we try to be like somebody else. We sometimes, so people mold themselves to वो with time हो भी जाता है. But if you are confident, if from within you have accepted, yeah, this is what you like, this is what you talk about, and this is the right. So see, इस सब में ना there is a core word is positive association. ये कोई भी ये नहीं है कि मतलब if there's some negative quality in me and I'm just like मैं तो ऐसी हूँ, यही मैं करूंगी. But there should be, like, the good way of doing it is positive association होना चाहिए आपके personality से to the world, whoever is associating with you. So if you're putting positive content out that you really truly believe in, you have to first talk to yourself, yaar, this is what I want to talk about, and this is what my original thought on this is. That can maybe help thinking about being understanding yourself, understanding what you like. ये थोड़ा introspectory भी है, like how to not pretend to be somebody you admire. But आप देखो, या एक तो है कि you're pretending to be a different person altogether. But sometimes क्या होता है ना, that you like the way the other person that you admire, they share their content. So maybe आप उसकी format को use कर सकते हो. So that is an inspiration that can actually work in your favor. जैसे कोई अगर अपने I'm going a little video, I don't want to go too far, but if you feel somebody that you follow like put content out, 3-line one advice, you like that format, and if you're trying that, that's fine, that's still you. पर उसका जो core है, जो content है, जो thought है, opinion है, वो आपका अपना होना चाहिए. वो वहां से आएगा कि you're fine, you've accepted yourself, yeah, this is who I am and this is what I want to be. Then you will be coming out as authentic. Not to attract negative publicity तो बहुत ही context driven question है. See, if you're putting positive content out, if you're putting neutral content out, think of this helping you in your career. तो हमें थोड़ा तो craft करना पड़ेगा उसको. But beyond that, I mean, if your profile is open, it's very context driven. How to not attract. मुझे नहीं लगता कि एक positive neutral content कितना ही controversy attract करेगा. पर आप मैनेज कर सकते हो. काफी लोग जो फुल टाइम इसमें होते हैं इन्फ्लुएंसर्स, दे आफ्टर पॉइंट से if you're happy with yourself and you feel that this is working for you, you're being smart about it, you're being positive about it. Beyond that, you can't control so much. At the end of it all, it's internet. Everyone has a voice, everyone has a right. But make sure that your basics, foundational fundamentals, you're authentic, you're neutral, you're positive. If it is to build a brand on the side and that can help you in your career, if that's the goal, तो अगर ये सब sorted है, beyond that, I mean, you can only control so much. Group 7 का है. Thanks, Minisha. Today you selling products and now you want to monetize services. Any inputs, please? So many sales questions. I think no expert. I've done sales for only 2-3 months in the early stage of career. Today you're selling products now and you want to monetize services. By monetize services, what do you mean? And if there are good sales questions, I don't want to take a shot at it. Himadri could be an expert, so Himadri, feel free to pitch into very specific sales questions. Okay, Asif has to drop off. That's fine.
If this question,
Minisha,
this question actually is related because you can relate it with any kind of services. Say you have air conditioners at home, right? When you buy air conditioners, you pay for it. But whenever the services comes, so you would like to spend minimize, right? You want to spend minimum. You would not like to pay. So how can you extract the maximum while selling services? Because nobody wants to pay for the services. He wants services in free. So what you need to do on social platforms so that services can be monetized and can be profitable also. So today you lose a lot while selling services.
Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, service selling is a difficult business also altogether. See, service selling, and I am no service sales expert, so I can take a crack at it. And if Himadri or anybody from the Juno team want to pitch in, great. But highlight the USP of your service. I mean, if there is something unique, there is something that services is a very very customer first game. You have to satisfy the customer. So you can highlight a few USPs. How do you do it right, and how deep are you willing to go in ensuring that your customer is satisfied? अगर आप वो 2-3 points highlight कर दो, that I'm just thinking services not very specific, but if you can highlight some unique points, how is it different from other services? What do we ensure? What else? And apart from that, I mean, it's anyway. So if you can productize it a bit, थोड़े बहुत USPs उसके highlight करके, and how is it different from other services available in the same market, that could help. And if you need to decide if social media is the right platform for your customers, वो वहाँ है. If that's a yes, then do it. Then you could really bank on getting your content out to them. पर ये आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा कि आपका कस्टमर कहाँ पे है. क्या वो इंस्टाग्राम पे हैंग आउट करता है, क्या वो कहाँ पे है. तो अगर है व्हाट्सएप पे करता है, तो आप उनको अपने 3-4 USPs भेज सकते हो कि यार दिस इज, और मे बी USPs के साथ आप टेस्टिमोनियल्स भेज सकते हो ऑफ योर हैप्पी कस्टमर्स. So to build that trust, and like you'll have to look at pricing your services, market level, wo sab to hai. But beyond that, making sure that you're getting highlighted through your services ka best parts, maybe happy customers, maybe some rating that you have, maybe you're running surveys for customer happiness or scores or whatever. So I think that's a very specific selling game. But these could be some of the things, but I am no expert on this, having said that. But thank you so much for so many questions.
Thanks, Minisha.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, anybody else has any other questions for Minisha around the branding bit?
Guys, I really want you to think of exploring social presence very strongly. आप लोग सब कुछ ना कुछ WhatsApp हो, Instagram हो, कुछ तो कंज्यूम कर रहे हो, सब पे फीचर है स्टोरी का, दिस दैट, लिखने का. आज ही जाके सबसे मुश्किल फीचर ट्राई नहीं करना, हमें आज सोचना है that you know this, if I like this, can also use, I can create a brand for myself. और अनसर्टनिटीज आ जाते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल पैंडेमिक आ गया, कुछ आ गया, जॉब में अनसर्टनिटी, समथिंग एल्स. Your personal brand, if that's sorted, that's very strong, is literally a parachute in those situations as well. I mean, it's very, very, it has so many benefits and I can't name all. So I would want you to think of social consumption to social creation and then use it to your advantage really well. If today you can think about it in that direction, it would really, I would be happy about it. Any other questions?
Any questions, guys? In case you have no questions, then we will thank Minisha for her time. No questions? Okay, guys, thank you so much. And thanks so much, Minisha, that you did take out time from your busy schedule on a weekend. And for people who've joined us for the first time, make sure that you hop onto these webinars because that's a routine thing that we do every Saturday from 12 to 1. And we would be picking certain topics which is related to the sales universe, right? Thank you so much for joining in and let's see you on the other Saturday, which is the coming Saturday, 12 to 1. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.